Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another edition of the Tuesday Night Flight. It is me, the big guy KG, sitting in with the gentleman, Jack Carr. Be joined a little later on by the Midnight Rider. But Jack, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good today. How about you, big guy?
I'm feeling good, man. Sports world is turning as usual, so I can't complain, can't deny it. Man, I know you happy because we had Little League World Series over the weekend. So everybody, we starting this one off early. Get you a glass of bourbon, maybe some cognac.
Yak.
Sit back, relax, put your feet up, and join us in the Gentleman's Corner. Jack, take it away.
All right. You know what a weekend it was. Little League World Series been in full swing since the 14th of August, and the championship game was played Sunday. It was Florida versus Chinese Taipei. Chinese Taipei has been a powerhouse in this World Series tournament 25 years, 30 years. They got 18 titles, so they've been a dominant team. But this game here came down to two strong teams, and we started off the game. Florida was having trouble with some pitching. They walked the first two batters, and then Chinese Taipei managed to get one run in the first. And in the second inning, Florida had bases loaded, no outs, and managed no runs. That pitching from Taipei buckled down and handled them, plus a timely double play turn by Taipei. Them boys are quick with the ball. I tell you, it doesn't stay in their glove long. I love watching it. So we're going into top of the third. It's 1-0 Chinese Taipei. And Florida did it again. They stranded two runs. And then their pitching went out and got Taipei 1, 2, 3. And that's back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Florida. So their pitching buckled down after them opening walks to start the game. Jacob Bibeau was the starter for Florida. And he plays multiple positions on this team: center field, shortstop, first base. He's a heck of an athlete. So we're going into the fourth inning. Defense. Taipei gets the bases loaded with one out, and Florida manages to hold 1-0 going into the fifth. Chinese Taipei with the lead. In Little League, they only play 6 innings as official game. So we're going into the fifth. Taipei leaves runners on again. So the pitching came at crucial times for Florida to help them hold on and stay within one run. So 6th inning come, we shut down Taipei, and Florida comes to bat. You got a young man on Florida squad, Lathan Norton. He comes in, hits a shot to right field, and scores the tying run. So they can proceed to end the inning tied 1-1 in the 6th. So they go extras. 7th inning, wasn't much going on either way. And then you come down here to the 8th inning. You go to the international tiebreaker rule. For those that aren't familiar with what that is, international tiebreaker rule, you bring the last batter that got out in your lineup last inning, and he starts on second base. It kind of speeds up these extra inning games. I kind of like it. I mean, it's fair. Both teams get a shot to score somebody from second, so that's what you're going to get. So 8th inning. Chinese Taipei's got 2 men on. We're getting a little shook. Pitching came through again and held them with no runs. So here we come. Bottom of the 8th. 1-1 ball game. College World Series title on the line. We start with a runner on second base for Florida. Young man at the plate squares the bunt. Lays down a beautiful bunt. Hunter Alexander lays down a beautiful bunt. Pitcher from Taipei charges, grabs it, throws to first. What happened? Nobody at first. Ball goes into right field. Our runner from second scores. Florida wins the College World Series. I thought it was an amazing final, especially from defense and offensive. These are supposed to be Florida's a good offensive team. For them to score 2 runs is sick. But the defense was just good out there, and the pitching was the best. Both of these managers managed their pitchers properly through the games because Chinese Taipei, they didn't lose a game in the tournament. They were 5-0 going through the tournament. So they were able to how should I say, slot their pitchers to where they could have strong pitchers for the semis and the finals. It was great. And the starting pitcher of the game scored the winning run. So he was pretty awesome. His name is, again, I said, Jacob Bibeau. And you also had great play out of Chase Anderson, the shortstop for Florida. He's very good. It was a good game. I don't know. I hope everybody watched it. If not, you can go online and check it out. 2-1 World Series Championship 2024. That's what it was. So there's a little bit of what would I use here? A little bit of controversy because this tournament is supposed to be 2 losses and you're out. What we call that is double elimination. Well, when you get down to the semifinals and all that, some of these teams are all undefeated. Like Texas. Texas was undefeated when they lost to Florida in the semifinals for Florida to go to the championship. But yet Texas only had 1 loss. So, and then Chinese Taipei lost to Florida in the championship. Chinese Taipei still only had 1 loss. And Florida has 1 loss. So I don't know. I've heard it's TV time restraints. They can't get that much airtime because it could be a possibility of 3 to 4 more games if they make it a true double elimination. Because what that would have meant, Florida would have had to beat Chinese Taipei twice to win the championship because they have not lost. So I see you're familiar with tournament stuff there, KG. Did you watch the game Sunday?
I peeked in on a little bit of it while I was moving around.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, you know what? Let me get up and go do something. And I came back and it was over. And I was like, over already? Good grief.
A lot of 1, 2, 3. It must have been 4 1, 2, 3 innings, I think. I mean, that don't take long.
And I caught a glimpse of it. And I was like, okay. Then I seen it roll across the phone. I said, oh, yeah, Jack gonna love this. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think you had Florida pegged to win it.
No, I had Texas.
You had Texas, okay. I knew you had
Texas. I can't believe they lost to Florida, but like I say, they had a couple of days off because they were in the winners bracket, and Florida had just been playing boom, boom, boom. Florida won 5 elimination games. They lost early in the tournament and won 5 eliminations to get to the championship. That's impressive too. But Texas with 1 loss and Taipei with 1 loss, it's not really a double elimination. They got to stop saying that, or verify it because Texas feels a little short-sighted there.
We're joined by the Midnight Rider.
What's going on, fellas?
All right.
Talking a little Little League World Series. Did you catch any of the game Sunday?
I saw the highlights. I didn't catch the game itself. Jack had a very good recount of everything that the transactions of the game. It looked like it was a good game. I think I saw the kids you were talking about. I think, was he on SportsCenter the other night?
They all been on SportsCenter, man. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Probably. It was probably Jacob Rubal that was on there. He was a starting pitcher and he scored the winning run. Or no, okay. Jacob Rubal got one on the warning track. Top of 8, Chinese Taipei had 2 on, 2 outs, and their big guy, I thought it was out of there, hit a bomb. And Jacob went back and got it on the warning track. I mean, it was almost over the wall. That's with 2 on, top of 8. You know what I'm saying? If that ball goes over the fence, boy, Florida had problems. But the way it ended just with no outs and a bunt and nobody home. Where was the second baseman at?
He missed the signal. He missed the signal, baby.
Something, yeah. I couldn't believe it when I saw nobody was on first, man. I mean, right fielder looked like he was running to try to cover first. And, I'm sure whoever was supposed to be there for Chinese Taipei, it probably hurts them a lot more than it's hurting the rest of the fellas, I don't know the feeling. I was never the scapegoat or the guy that lost the game, but I bet he's feeling pretty bad. They was crying, and United States boys and coaches went over and gave the good sportsmanship because these kids been hanging out all week, or 10, 12 days. They make friendships and whatnot. And I just looked. I think Little League World Series is a great event, not just because it's baseball, because it's gathering children together to do things other than play on their phone. They got activities there. They got ping pong, pool tables, arcades. The kids are all competing in that too, So I think that's one of the best events throughout the year. It will go March Madness, Little League World Series, Super Bowl for me.
I noticed it. I think I watched the special on Mo'ne Davis because I think it's 10 years since her performance.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about how the kids get to stay there for, I guess, whatever the time period is. It's almost like a vacation for the family.
Mm-hmm. Well, they fundraise, you know what I'm saying? They got to fundraise and all that to pay for a lot of this stuff, the parent stuff. But I think the kids stuff's all included in one fee.
Okay.
It's not free. But, yeah, they stay there all week. If you lose your first 2 games, you're still there all week.
That's amazing. That's the good part.
You
still get to experience it.
Still get experience it. Still get to watch some ball. Still get to, I'm sure they're playing ball around the lots on the compound there.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's way nicer than when I was there 91, 92. And it wasn't like it is today. It's amazing now. I mean, they got two stadiums for the Little Leaguers. Lamini and I can't remember the other one. And then they built the new field for the Major League players that have been coming in since 2018. Been coming in about 5 years, the Major League game of the night on Sundays. So I think that's awesome too because the Major League players hang out in the stands, watch the game,
Yeah.
So it's a great event.
Gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Do you think this could potentially turn into something for other sports, such as basketball, maybe something like that, where you have this type of tournament that you're able to do this for kids and you have the pros that come out and participate? Is that possible?
I'm going to say no. And I'm only going to say because the other sports, this has been something that has grown since, gosh, how long would you say, Jack? I know he's been around 40s? Since the 80s.
Early, late 30s, early 40s.
So this is something that they've tried and true and figured it out. I think basketball would be tougher.
AAU.
The other commitments the kids will have. And then the football part, I just think the way the physicality of football will make it almost impossible. It would almost have to be like a flag type of tournament. But you'd have to have flag get over.
Football's got something similar. I mean, they got the Pop Warner where the teams from all over the country play each other, but it doesn't go national or nothing. But
basketball, they go down in Florida. I know they go down to Florida for the Pop Warner. Well, it may not be Pop Warner, but I know a couple of leagues that they play their national championship down in Florida.
Mm-hmm, correct.
All the winners from every state in that league go down to Florida because this is when Dario was younger. He was on a team, and they were one win away from going to Florida. Mm-hmm. And I remember all the kids were asking me, "Can we ride with you to Florida? Can we ride with you to Florida?" I said, "Man, y'all gotta ask y'all parents. Y'all can't all ride. I got a Mitsubishi Galant. It's like 12 of y'all. Who y'all gonna sit?" But they all wanted to ride me to Florida. They were so geeked up about it, and then they lost the game 6-0. That hurt.
Yeah. No, we did. I didn't know do that. We went to they were just accepting like they do in baseball, like a Mid-Atlantic team. They weren't accepting teams from every state when I was playing. And we went to Vienna, Virginia, and lost to Vienna, and they went to the national stuff. Mm. And that's the same team that I had the baseball team too. We were nice in all sports. We won so many championships in the Little League Boys Club. It was crazy.
I wish they still did like rec leagues. Like, you remember, if you lived around Bladensburg, you played for Bladensburg Rec all the way up from Mighty Mite all the way to high school most of the time. Mm-hmm. And you were in Bladensburg Mustang all the way, whether you played basketball or football. And if you played basketball in middle school at William Wirt, you still played basketball for the rec too. And the seasons never coincided when you had to play both at the same time.
Right.
But I wish they still had it like that, because it was more of a system. Because if all the coaches got together and they ran the same system, it was nothing but like just moving up. And you were just moving up and progressing in the system and learning the same thing. I wish it was still like that, but AAU, not many people going out for football anymore. So that kind of changes the dynamic.
There's a lot of changes that change the dynamic. I mean, middle school sports, like I said, that's been gone for a long time. Back to when I was in middle school is when it stopped. Around my time, we're talking what, 1980? We were all excited to get on the middle school team. You know, we were all ready and get there. And they said, yep, the county's dropped sports in middle school. So all we had after that was, the Bladensburg Boys Club. And, we had Bladensburg Boys Club. We had Hydesville, Mount Rainier, Brentwood, Lanham, New Carrollton. You know the deal. And not many of those are around anymore. I know Bladensburg has nothing because, as I said, right before COVID, Bladensburg had to drop their varsity football team because they didn't have enough experience. Mm-hmm. And they called me. A couple of folks from the athletic director's pocket called me trying to see how they can make this club up again. I can go into a story about that for a while, but I think lack of boys and girls clubs in the areas, because in some states there is no boys and girls clubs. It's all travel. Travel's a monster and it's taking over. So that's what's hurting a lot of the high schools is there's no club for nobody to play for no more. They got to go.
Miss V. Williams checking in.
Hey.
Hello to you. Good evening. Lee Ice checking in. First, what's up, my brothers? Do y'all think the movie The Bad News Bears played a part into the popularity of the Little League World Series?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
That is a good question. And yeah, I mean, I say yes.
I think baseball movies as a whole help because it puts it on the map, whether it's Bad News Bears and the Chinko Bail Bonds team, whether it's the Sandlot, whether it's the Rookie. What's the other one with the kid that becomes the manager?
You had Angels in the Outfield. You had a couple of 90s baseball.
Yeah, it was a nice group of movies set around kids playing kids and being involved with baseball, and I think that helped out more than anything else. So I think it's kind of been a progression. I think Bad News Bears was an introduction, but I also think we had better. Well, not we, because I didn't play a lot of Little League, but there was a better structure earlier on for Little League as time went on.
Yeah.
Matty Ice ain't gonna want to hear this, but I'm gonna tell you what got me interested in hockey. The Mighty Ducks.
Really?
That got me interested in hockey because we would play Mighty Ducks came out, and it was like right before that we had played around in hockey in PE class. Yeah. When I was going to Matthew Henson, so this had to be about 4th grade. So that's what, 91? That's about 90. And I fell in love with playing the position of goalie, but I had learned the game, and then I saw the Mighty Ducks, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm in love with this. I fell in love with hockey then. What was that, Mighty Ducks? Was it Mighty Ducks 2? when Kenan Thompson broke out the knuckle puck, everybody was trying to hit the knuckle puck.
Yeah,
everybody was trying to do that, and we broke some stuff in school doing that. And I never forget on the William Wirt. Shout out to Mr. Tucci. He played hockey with us too. We didn't always play basketball. He played hockey, football. We played softball, baseball. We played everything. Miss Baker used to have us playing soccer. You know, we had so many different sports that we played. And it was just a variety. It wasn't just, all right, I'm going to throw these basketballs out here. Y'all just play basketballs and get credit for the day. But you fall in love with a sport and then you have somebody teach it to you. And I had some great PE and gym teachers. Elementary school, Mr. Frendek. Shout out to him. Shout out to Miss Bacon and Coach Tucci at William Wirt. Shout out to Doc Payne at Bladensburg and Mr. Plummer. Like they taught us these games and it was beautiful, man. But you take these movies as a kid and you fall in love with the game. Major League, Sandlot made me fall in with baseball. You know, the Midnight Riders' favorite movie, you know, came out when we were a little older, but Major League 3, Back to the Minors. I know that's the Midnight Riders' favorite. So, you know,
that's his favorite one.
So you gotta take the movies into account, and you know, but when you see those movies as a kid, it makes you fall in love with the sport a little bit more. Even though it may not all be realistic, but it still makes you fall in love with the sport a little bit more.
I agree.
Midnight Rider, let me ask you this before we go on to the next topic. Will you bless us with the list tonight?
Let me see. I should be able to, because not much changed. So we got last week's list. I think I got last week's list here. There actually might be one change at the 5 spot, but we can do that.
List. Right. Which list?
This is the quarterback list that we do on Tuesdays.
College?
So like last week you were,
college quarterbacks?
Yeah, college quarterbacks.
No, we already did that. Okay.
Oh, we do that every week.
Yeah, it's every week thing. It's a feature.
Mine's the same because they ain't played yet.
Today was roster cut down day. A lot of surprises, but not too many. Midnight Rider and myself, we like to go through every year, and every year that Midnight Rider has been here for this, he's kind of brung bad juju to me because I used to get 52 out of 53, 51 out of 53. I never dropped below 40, 48. But since the Midnight Rider's been here, yeah, things ain't been looking too good. But we put our list up in the group because we dropped the ball. And let me change that banner. We're talking Commanders, 53-man roster. Commanders. Yeah. Left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders.
Goody.
So Midnight Rider, I got my list written down. Also, I'm looking at yours as well. And I know this is kind of like a competition, but I still should have got with you with the offensive line. But let's start with the quarterbacks. The Midnight Rider had Mariota and Daniels. I had Daniels, Driscoll, and Mariota.
So you got 3.
Bye-bye.
Oh, no, they got all 3.
They kept all 3?
Yep. They're going to keep all 3.
But then you're only going to dress 2. Usually when they do that, they only dress 2.
Right. That's still going to be the case.
Yeah.
But they want to keep 3 because it's just another set of eyes for Jayden. That's why they kept Driscoll and not like Hartman or McSorley.
Yeah. McSorley was just a camp arm. You knew that's what that was.
Right. That was because he lived down the street and he could get on the plane in the next 30 minutes and they ain't had to fly nobody from anywhere.
Right.
Maybe we used to keep 2 because we had a quarterback and tight end. Who's his name?
Logan Thomas.
Big Logan Thomas. Vatek, hokey dokey.
Running back. We had. Let me make sure I got both pictures up here. Hold on. That way I can.
You got that one because I think you had Nichols. I had Wiley.
Nope, I had Rodriguez.
Oh, okay.
You had Eckler, B-Rob, and Riley. I had Eckler, B-Rob, and Rodriguez. Nichols. Jeremy Nichols was McNichols. I'm sorry. Jeremy McNichols is your third running back.
That's because of teams.
Huh?
I said that's because he's a good teams player as well. Like
yes.
Special team, kickoff.
Wide receiver, you had McLaurin, Crowder, Bryant, OZ, Diami, and Luke. I had Brown, Crowder, McCaffrey, Scary Terry, Pringle, and Kaz Allen. The official roster lists Diami Brown, Luke McCaffrey, Byron Pringle, OZ, Terry McLaurin, and Jamison Crowder. I thought Pringle was on that too. Yeah, I got Pringle. Okay. So I think I got 5 out of 6.
Not bad.
Then here's where I almost crashed and burned because I second guessed myself. The offensive line. The Midnight Rider had, tight end. Tight end, I had Ertz, Bates, Sennett, and Turner. Midnight Rider had the same thing. We both were wrong.
Ooh.
Colson Yankov, Ben Sennett, Zach Ertz, and John Bates. Cole Turner is out.
Good.
Offensive line is where I crashed and burned. So I crash and burn every year on offensive line. Because I'm thinking one thing, and Midnight Rider be like, nope, that guy's not going to fit in this scheme. You got to have a type. Okay, we don't have a type. Midnight Rider had Riley, Coleman, Lucas, Wiley, Stromberg. Badass. I like that. Cosme, Paul, Algeretti, and Dieter. I had Cosme, Stromberg, Daniels, Wiley, Lucas, Coleman, Paul, Badass, and Scott. I took Algeretti off my list. The official list, because I was like, I'm missing somebody, and I couldn't remember who it was. You told me I had 54 because I actually had Algeretti and Scott, and I took Algeretti off the list. I fucked up. The official roster is Michael Dieter, Tyler Badass, Nick Algeretti, Andrew Wiley, Trent Scott, Brandon Coleman, Chris Paul, not CP3 and not wrong songs, Chris Paul, Sam Cosme, and Cornelius Lucas.
So I'm
sound like some new names, man. I like that. I like that.
No Stromberg for either one of us. So Stromberg's out. But I think we got everybody else. We pretty much knocked everybody out. I had Daniels. No Daniels. No Daniels, no Stromberg.
Yeah.
So
this is where I think I messed up.
Huh?
I think I messed up on the D-line.
Yeah, the D-line messed up because they're looking at Jamin Davis as a defensive end now. He's no longer listed as a linebacker. He's defensive end.
No, we've done that before.
Yeah.
So if you got Davis on your roster, doesn't matter what position you got him at. If he's on the roster,
he made the roster.
Right.
So looking at the D line, and back to the O line, I thought they were going to keep 9 for the D line.
I want to hear y'all's D line because I like a guy we picked up. Let me see what you got.
All right, here we go. Midnight Rider had Ridgeway, Allen, Payne, Mathis, Newton, Armstrong, Fowler, KJ Henry, Farrell, and Jean Baptiste. It's Jean, not Jean. Jean Baptiste. I had Allen. Huh?
It's only missed one.
Yeah, I only missed one on the line too. And that was a surprise. Okay. I had Allen, Payne, Henry, Matthias, Ridgeway, Newton, and Jean Baptiste. The one that we missed was Henry. That was surprising. Yeah. Henry got released earlier today, but if he clears waivers, he can be brought back on the practice squad.
What happened to Farrell?
Farrell made it.
Okay. You didn't have him.
No, I didn't have him on
Midnight Rider did.
Yes.
Yeah, I like Farrell. Met the man, Clemson University on the field. He was a monster. He's not. I hope he can jumpstart everything here in Washington, man, and help us out because he's a big man. He plays long too. I mean, his hands covered my daughter's whole face and head up. That's how big his hands are. So I like Clelin Ferrell. And then when we get to the defensive backfield, I got somebody for you.
The official defensive line is Jamin Davis, Javonte, Jean-Baptiste, John Ridgeway, Dorrance Armstrong, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Jerzon Newton, Fedarian Mathis, and Clelin Ferrell. Over at linebacker, the Midnight Rider had Davis, Wagner, Luvu, Walker, and Pittman. I had Wagner, Luvu, McGee, Davis, and Fowler. McGee, as the Midnight Rider informed me last night, was put on IR. The official linebacking core for the 2024 Washington Commanders is Frankie Luvu, Dante Fowler, Michael Walker, Dominique Hampton, and Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, I hope to see some good things out of this linebacker core. And I'm hoping that Payne and Allen can step up and be destructive on that line and then make things easier for our linebackers.
I hope so too.
I'm excited for this.
I hope so too. Now here's where it all kind of went right.
Fame.
Yeah, because D-back, but before I get to D-back, everybody gets special teams right every year. That's the three that you get right every year. Cade York, Tress Wade, Tyler Ott. We got special teams right. Okay. Now, let's look at DB, because they didn't have them listed by, cornerback and safety. The Midnight Rider had his listed at cornerback and safety. I'll go through all of them. Sanders Steele, BSJ, Forbes, Castro Fields, and Davis. Martin, Chin, Owens, Hampton, and Reeves. I had it Castro Fields, Anusium, I think that's how you say that, Forbes, Pierre, Sanistril, BSJ, Chin, Butler, Forrest, Hampton, Martin, Reeves, Owens. So that's what I had. The official DB list for the 2024 Washington Commanders: Sandstril, Chin, Forbes, Biganihi. Help me out there, Midnight Rider.
I think you're talking about Noah.
Yeah, Noah. Quan Martin, Derek Forbes, Michael Davis, BSJ, Percy Butler, Jeremy Reeves, and Tyler Owens.
Tyler Owens is going to be a beast, man. He's a freak. That boy, he plays long as well. And hell, he runs a 4.3.
Yep.
I like that speed at safety. Say again?
He almost broad jumped the world record at the combine.
I heard. But, I seen him play at Texas. I didn't know he went to Texas Tech. But he's something. They call him an athletic freak. He's talented, very athletic. I'm looking for things out of him.
Any surprise picks to make this team this year?
Any surprise picks to make the team? I think the surprises was the kid Yankov. I didn't think he would make the roster right away, and he possibly could be somebody that they let go as they start picking up people off of waivers. The other guy I think shocked me a little bit was I thought it was going to be a battle between Pittman. I thought Pittman had to fight to get on the roster, and he got on. So that was another one that I kind of had, but it was kind of like, yeah, I think they got to do that. I mean, we got the Hampton position switch. So, I mean, pretty much, I think it was right around what I thought. I just didn't see where guys like Tremaine and Tinsley, I didn't think they had enough going in the preseason games to make the roster. But I think they're the two type of players that you can bring back. I think you can bring back Wally with no problems. The thing that I'm going to be looking for is I think the last time we cut players and somebody picked them up was like 2020 or 2021. Was the last time from this waiver period where we dropped somebody and somebody got picked up. That's a bad sign.
There's a bunch of wide receivers out there that Washington might pick one of those up. I don't have the names on the tip of my tongue, but I did notice some good quality wide receivers.
A couple names people already brought up was Tim Patrick from the Broncos. Mm-hmm. He was brought up. Who's the? Of course, just as you said, Jack, the other name goes out of my brain. But there's one more that they were talking about. And then, of course, they were talking about trying to move Ridgeway as a trade. So I wouldn't doubt like moving him to somebody would be for like a corner or for a wide receiver help. You know, there's the guy, John Mechie, that out of Alabama that's on the Houston roster that probably is now their fourth or fifth receiver. So he might be a name that people might – I know they've talked about it all week, but he might be somebody that gets a look.
Well, you know how these Commander fans are right now. They think since we lost Jahan Dotson, we're in need of a wide receiver. We're not, but if something's decent there, scoop them up. You know, we're not at wit's end for wide receiver.
See, and I think Bryant comes back, and I think if you get Bryant to about week 9 or week 10, I think he's going to be somebody that they're going to be curious to see what they got.
I think so, too.
You know, you talk about Commanders fans, and so many people complain about everything in this fan base. But first, let me get to the surprises. I was surprised about KJ Henry. I was surprised that Cole Turner didn't make this team. But I'm also surprised they only kept 3 running backs. But when you got a different building and a different atmosphere, and I'm sure the training staff has changed and everything, but trust the process. That's the best thing I can say. Trust the process.
But don't get caught up, KG, in this roster being what the roster is. Like these next 48 hours are probably a scout's dream because this is what they get paid for, and they're going to be scouring the waiver wire, trying to pick some people up. So there's going to be some guys that made it to the day, but they ain't going to make it to the weekend. So they got to be careful not to pop the bubbly too soon. Then also you got a 17-man practice squad that you got to fill out. So some of these names that we talked about cutting could possibly come back there and be on this team that way.
So with this roster being set where it's at, give me a early over-under on wins.
Oh man, I think I'm a little bit above Vegas. I think Vegas got us at 6.5. I think I like us at 8 wins. I think I like us right around 7 or 8.
Yep, I like 8. 9 would be considered a successful season, in my opinion. 8, take it as you want it. I understand that, but they're a better team than a 4-win team. I think they dumped.
I'm gonna go.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. It's 11.
4, 3, 2.
Nah,
it's 11.
I'm not even gonna do that because last time I sat here in this very seat and I said something about winning. What was it? 11 games.
Woo! That's a long time ago.
7. Oh no, that was last year.
That was last year. Hey, it was bad. I'm not gonna sit here and say that. I'll stick with the consensus and say I'm gonna take the over on the 8.
Nah, I want to know what you felt.
I feel 10.
Oh,
but I don't want it. I don't want it. I feel 10 because it's new. The newness. Newness don't you got old busted and hot newness.
How many we win in RG3's rookie year? Did we get 10 then?
Yep, 10 and 6.
Yeah, because you were 4
closest thing I can compare it to.
That's just where I feel, and I don't want to say that because it's just like you putting a lot of pressure on a lot of people for no apparent reason.
I don't think anybody risking part is like, yo, KG said we got to win 10. We got to get 10 from KG. Like, I don't think that's the t-shirt, the rallying cry in the locker room, bro.
I think it is, you know.
Oh, okay.
You know, we're not far off. 8, 10, you know, tomato.
Yeah, I think it's all about just because the place is going to be where do you get the wins and what do you steal? You can't. This is the type of team you can't. If you miss one because like, and I hate to say this, but I know this might be an option. Like the kicker doesn't make a kick or late interception, something like that, and we lose the game close. That could possibly be where you missed out on getting to that 10 or that 9.
If they want to get the big wins like that, they gotta score.
Yeah,
they gotta score points. Not 17 points ain't winning games in NFL no more. You gotta put up 25, 30 points a game in today's NFL. And the Washington's just not been doing that lately. Hopefully, I mean, this squad looks like they're ready to score. I mean, I can see McLaren getting a touchdown in the corner. I can see Eckler taking a screen to the house. I see we got some good weapons. B-Rob running up the middle. I mean, Daniel scrambling for, 70 yards. I see it all there, but we had it all there too back when RG3 was here. And we thought, and then went in the toilet. So I'm going to take this one easy, man. I'm not getting excited. Just going to check them out. Hope they get better. Because it's been frustrating.
Well, we talked about old busted and new hotness. We got new hotness.
Yeah.
We got a new stadium name. Midnight Rider got his corporate naming. I don't know what the terms of the deal is. I don't know how long it's for, but Midnight Rider got his corporate naming. And do you know it's people in the fan base talking about, mediocre team name, mediocre stadium name? We ain't never going to win nothing.
I've heard worse than that.
Well, the stadium name, man.
Why would you name it Northwest when we're in the Mid-Atlantic?
Well,
that doesn't make sense. And I was
just ask Major Tuddy.
I was like, that doesn't even make sense.
Nope.
Jack, you got to stop bringing up Major Tuddy.
I can't stand him.
Major Tuddy's not for us, Jack.
At least I called him Major today. I called him Sergeant last week. Nah, he's not my guy. I don't. It's stupid. We get John
Jack,
going.
If I see you taking a picture with Major Tuddy, we got other problems, brother.
Oh, you won't catch that unless my foot's up his butt.
Okay. There you go. Beat up the mascot in front of the kids. Way to set an example, Jack.
The way the stadiums, man, they change names so much because it's all about money. When they changed it from Jack Hancock to FedEx, money. I still call it the Jack, man. That's what we called it back in 2000. Where y'all going to the Jack? We just called it the Jack, and I still do. And a couple of my buddies over here, they got Winnebago. It's called Redskin 1. Got big old Redskin symbols on it. It's pretty cool. And Redskins have been inside and signed it. Gary Clark, Mark Rippon. Every time there's a Redskin over in the Winnebago lot, they come see Redskin 1. Y'all might have seen it.
Dylan Cruz just stole third base.
So, Midnight Rider, what do you think?
I mean, I think it shows you that they've been doing things on the backside of the business to get some things done. They had to get the deal done soon because you didn't want the stadium to open. So you get a corporate sponsor. That brings some money back into your pockets. Because so far, all they've been doing is paying. I mean, you've been paying for this and paying for that and, doing some upgrades. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures of, the field level access where the guys are walking out of the locker room and there's a lounge just for fans that I think it's $15,000 for 2 tickets or 2 tickets or 2 ways to get access. I think you still have to buy your own ticket for the game but the 15,000 covers your access to this thing, and then you get some other perks with it. Then I think they changed up the media lounge because this is the first time I've ever seen Chris Russell post food from the media lounge, and it actually looked appetizing. They've got some other things. They did some little walk-ins where you can basically you walk in. I guess you scan your phone, pick up a couple items, and then you scan your phone again as you're going out. There's a limit on 2 beers per people, but it looks like they've got some things in place that's going to help make the experience a little bit nicer. I think they also upgraded the food experience a little bit too. I know people were complaining about the prices, but I was looking at the prices and I'm like, $10 for a hot dog. Okay, what do you want to pay? I mean, like, where are you going to get
fat?
Like, I just think right now. I mean, I've been places and I look at the menu and I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, we gotta go somewhere else. Like, the days of us getting stuff at a cheap rate just doesn't happen no more.
Now, see, Midnight Rider, you don't have the experience. I got the experience because I got an A+ in Madden and owner mode 5 years in a row. So my hot dogs were always $3 to $5, and my fan base loved it. And I sold out every game, and my beers weren't no more than $6. This is what I did, and then I upgraded the food to the point that we had crab cakes and oysters and things like that. You know, we sold peanuts and chips and stuff. But we had a little bit more luxury experience. So you want those things because that's what they gave you in a video game. So you want it in real life.
So is that before or after you stroked the check for $6 billion?
Actually, I never stroked the check for $6 billion, and my team worth, thank you very much, is $1.9 billion right now. I am number 1 in the NFL because I'm the one that spends money and I upgrade my stadium. I just built the new stadium, matter of fact.
All right, we gotta get out of this.
I'm there for the gridiron. But everybody talked about the prices. But
say that again, Jack.
You got to save that for the gridiron Saturday morning. Check it out.
I love it. But everybody complains about the prices, but you have to understand today's prices ain't yesterday prices. This is 2024. Everything has been on the rise for the last 4 years. Since we ended the COVID pandemic, everything has been on the rise. Everything. You take the price that you have now compared to what we had in 2018 and 2019, it's a big difference. And all they doing is going up and up and up and up and up. You got to expect that. And then this team is trying to make money. Either you're going to go to the games or you're not. Or are you going to go to the games and you're going to tailgate? Or are you going to go to the games and buy the food that's in the stadium?
You got to gate and grub, man. Like I said, you're going to drop a fortune. Yeah. If you take a family in there, you're gonna drop $200 easy.
Yeah.
The thing is, you say, you know, they're expensive and they're moving up with times. Ballpark food has always been expensive, though. Even when times weren't hard. Ballpark food. I mean, thing is, I'm gonna be a hot dog and maybe a Stella. That's $24 right there.
Yep.
You know, they're getting $14 for a beer. That's unreal. I remember $6, $8 for beers. Actually, I have not been to Washington Stadium in probably 4 years just because of the pitiful play. I will go back when they think they can show me something.
I went, what was that, year before last? Me and BJ went. And
that's the game, right?
Yeah. I didn't like the choices that we had because we got there early and walked around to see what choices we had to eat by the gate. Didn't like the choices that we had because they had a Ben's Chili Bowl in there. And if you grew up in the area, and we'll talk about this in the wrap up, but if you grew up in the area, you know how great Ben's Chili Bowl was back in the day. Now it's one of those, okay, you go get it, you don't eat it no more for like another 2-3 years. You might get a taste for it here and there, but it's not something that you go to on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to say my hot take now, or do you want to wait for it?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Overrated.
What, Ben's Chili Bowl?
Ben's Chili Bowl is overrated.
Your namesake is overrated?
It's overrated. Only thing is okay. It's the history of it, and like the thing that the fact that it was a mainstay in the 70s and 80s, but yeah, it's overrated.
It's known nationally, man.
Yeah, it's a tourist spot now. It's not what we grew up to be. I'm talking about the one on U Street. I'm not talking about the one on H Street. I'm not talking about the ones down in Virginia. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about U Street. That's just a tourist spot now. That's where people come from all around to get it. Oh my God, these are the greatest half smokes and chili I ever had, bro. That ain't nothing compared to what we used to have. We used to live like kings and queens in this city.
So what's up? Now that Snyder's gone, are they still gonna have that Johnny Rocket in there? Ain't that his? That's his.
That's his thing.
So I'm curious to see if Johnny Rocket's still gonna be there.
I doubt it very seriously.
Me neither.
I mean, because like I told KG before, I would take everything that's not nailed down,
Snyder,
and basically throw it out, put the ammonia and bleach on it, baby, and start a brand new. And they did that at the park. Like I don't know if you've seen some of the behind the scene videos, like the Commander's Log videos, where they spruced up the park real nice, added some extra room. That's why all you've seen all summer long is cranes out there, cranes, backhoes, all that stuff, and they've been moving stuff and building and revamping. So
over in Landover?
No, over at Landover got his own.
Ashburn
got a facelift, and some of the stuff in Raul John got adjusted too. So you're not walking into the same old thing that you had last year. Like they've spruced up the stadium, they've added some features. They're really trying to, like they talked about the sound system being much better. They got a couple of food spots that are different. So it's a better, they're trying to make the experience better for the fans. Because they know they got to get the fans back. And if they can get the fans back, and they do a little thing called winning to go along with it, it'll reunite and reinvigorate the fan base that desperately needs it.
Matty Ice said, name change is irrelevant, still bad stadium in my view. Yeah, that's because the stadium was never taken care of.
Matty don't like that stadium. I've seen that comment from him multiple times.
But he's right. It's a terrible. Now, I used to always say it's not a bad seat in FedEx Field. Well, it's not a bad seat in Northwest Federal Credit Union Stadium. I used to always say that.
There's a couple sitting behind posts.
At the bottom, never a bad seat for me.
Section 400's a bad seat for me.
That's where the 400 section, that's where we normally sit.
I'm looking at ants. I can't see.
We sit at 400, and the first time we went, matter of fact, Christmas Eve 2000.
Oh.
That was the first game I went to at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium.
That's right.
We sat at the top of the stadium. And I mean the top. I'm talking about we were two rows below the chain link fence that went around the top of the stadium. Like I went up top and looked over and was looking over the top of the stadium. And we were in the end zone, and that was a great seat. Like we saw on the other end of the field, we could still see. Well, we were young then. I mean, you know.
I can handle it back then too, but I can't see now. I gotta come in the stadium and I gotta go down. Club level or down.
What game was that?
That was the Arizona game. Terry Robisky's last game. Home game. Terry Robisky's last home game as head coach.
Was 2000 the first season or 99?
No, the first season and that stadium was 97.
Was it that early? Because I was there for the San Francisco Monday night game the first season, man. That place was electrifying, man. Started playing the Monday night theme song, man. Hair on your arm stands up, the whole stadium. Because back then it was like 89,000.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it was cranking. But yeah, you start losing fans. Go from 85, 86,000 to 61,000. Jesus. I hope they didn't put permanent glue on them seats. If we start winning, let's open them back up.
It's just tarped over.
Yeah.
And then they need to take out the the party room section where you just stand up. I think that's just dumb.
But they got that in Dallas too, in the end zone. Only costs $10 to get in. That's pretty impressive. Might be 20 nowadays.
It's like standing room only.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of parks have that.
I thought they used to do that in Old Royal Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat it. You're not giving up a seat and you're still getting cash. I'm down. It's a good idea.
Well, jumping over to some MLB news, talking about stadiums and things like that of the such. We're coming close to the end of the season and things are heating up. Aaron Judge and hit 50 home runs already?
He got more than that. He's on pace for 63. He's on pace for 63. He's on pace for 63.
Okay.
Speaking of the Yankees, they got a 2-game lead on the O's in the AL East. The Guardians got a 1-game lead on the Royals. And here's the thing I heard on the radio today. The over-under for the Royals for this season was under 70. What was it? Under 72, I think. And they're already at 74.
Oh, they're definitely playing above what we all predicted. I didn't, in our MLB show in the beginning, I did not think Kansas City would be up here. But then again, I didn't think Cleveland would be up here.
Yeah. Well, Matty Ice knew Cleveland was going to be up here because they stumbled a little bit, but they got
stumbled a lot.
Yeah, because they had 9-game win streak at one point,
and they're playing Kansas City right now in a little 3-game span.
Damn,
they've got Kansas City like something like 7 games in 10 days. So this is going to get played out in front of the world. So this ain't for the weak. This is for. I mean, this is not really going to set. This can put you in a better position to win a division later on. I'm not going to say it's like win or go home, but it sets you up for success going forward.
I think Kansas City's going to overtake them. And neither team.
If Bobby Witt Jr. keeps hitting,
he's nice. I think that closer shutting them down.
Don't sleep on the Twins either, because they're 2.5 games out of first. Out in the West, the Astros lead the American League West, but the Mariners are 3.5 games behind them. But didn't the Mariners just fire their manager?
Yes.
It wouldn't surprise me as bad as they've been playing, because they had a 5-game lead a month ago.
Yeah, but the fighting big dogs have been on the stretch. I think they're 34. They won 34 of their last 50.
Yeah,
so
no, they got hot. And Houston just picked up Jason Hayward from the Dodgers. I know Jason's a little old, but I tell you, playoff Jason's always been nice. Might add some pop. Nothing. Playoff Jason's all right.
I think he's a great defensive outfielder, and he's had his moments. I'll give you that.
Over in the NL East, the Phillies lead the NL East, but the Nationals, they're only 18.5 games back. So they win out, Philly loses out. We might be talking a different ball game here.
Okay. I like the way you're thinking. This sounds like Lloyd Christmas when he's in the room with the girl and he says, "So you say there's a chance?" That's about where we're at here. So you say there's a chance.
In the Central, the Brewers got a 10-game lead over the Cubs.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Because the on the East, the Phillies are going to be the Phillies. I think they're one of the teams that's going to get one of the buys. I think the problem, though, becomes, can Atlanta hold on? Because Atlanta's got a couple serious injuries. They just lost Riley, their third baseman. They've been losing pitchers and players all season long. So they're holding water. They're treading water. If they stay where they are, they're in the playoffs. I think they're the last or the first wild card.
Let me jump back to the AL.
They're the last wild card. Go ahead.
Let me jump back to the AL East. We were speaking about New York being up 2 games on Baltimore. And as everybody that watches SportsCenter knows, Judge, Soto, and Stanton been hot this week. They actually went back to back to back. I love saying that because that's amazing. And then Gleyber Torres, they moved him up to the leadoff spot, and he's adding a lot of pop to that position. Jazz Chisholm, great pickup, man. You ain't seen him doing nothing but good stuff in that Yankee uniform. And you just need Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon to pick it up a little bit, and Yankees can be tough to beat. You know, I don't like the way my Orioles are playing now. Pitching, we still got a chance to scoop up another pitcher. I think there's a guy that I'd like to see us pick up that just got released, is Drew Smiley. He still got some gas in the tank, and I think he could help us out. So, and we sent Trevor Rogers down to AAA. Baltimore did. Didn't we pick Trevor Rogers up in the free agent period? Then
I thought y'all picked him up in the trade at the deadline.
He was with us already?
No, I think you picked
at the deadline. You're saying?
Yeah, I got to double check that.
Right. I know he had high expectations. Yeah, they had expectations for him, but he hasn't done nothing for us in his first game in AAA. He got rocked too, so maybe he doesn't have the confidence or something and needs some more time. But pitching, difficult job.
You said Trevor Rogers, right?
Yeah. Just got sent in. That's why I think pull Drew Smiley up. He's on the free agents from I cannot remember who let him go, but
probably Cincinnati. He always seems to play for Cincinnati.
He wasn't in Cincinnati. I want to say it's the Cubs.
Same difference. It's one of those two teams always. It's like there's certain guys that you know who they end up playing for.
Speaking of the Central, the Brewers are leading the Central by 10 games over the Cubs, and the Cardinals 10.5 back, Reds are 12.5 back, Pirates are 13.5. So at this present point, I think, what do you got, about 20, 30 games left in the season? Is it that many?
Yeah, I'd say 25 if that.
Because you got 30 more plus 58.
You asking me to do math on my day off? Like, what are we doing here?
I got you.
We got about 32 games left.
Yeah.
So there's a chance. 30.
Yep.
There's a chance.
Only team in that division going to playoffs is Milwaukee.
I mean, somebody get hot. There's a chance. I think that when you get to a certain point in the season and you say, all right, we're 13.5 back. If we get hot and they go cold, we got a chance to at least get in the wild card. We can try to walk them down.
Ain't no wild card coming out of there.
Go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
No, there's no wild card coming out of there. Where are you at? The Central?
Yeah.
I don't think there's a wild card coming out of there. I think their records are too low.
Yeah, they are. But I'm saying if you could just go, let's say you win on a 13-game win streak and you let's say you're the Pirates and you walk down the Brewers. I mean, it'd be impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. The story that they always tell is the 68 Mets, how they turned everything around and wound up winning it all.
They were amazing.
How bad were they? Were they 20 games out or something like that? And they walked them down and won it all? It's possible.
As Kevin Garnett say, anything's possible.
Yeah, I just don't see that. Not with the way the Diamondbacks and the Padres have been playing these last couple of weeks. The only team that they can walk down is the Braves. That means they're getting that last wild card spot. They're not getting any higher than that. That's 10-12 games with 30 left. Like you need an apocalyptic collapse for this to happen. Like there was that one year the Mets collapsed late and like the Braves overtook them and made it to the playoffs or whatever. But it's got to be one of those like the greatest. It's got to be like the greatest run plus the greatest collapse in the history of time for that to work out. And I don't think
we're due for that. I mean, being nostalgic, I think we're due for that.
I understand, KG. I know where you are, but I'm just I don't know, bro.
You just
All right. Out in the West, the Dodgers out in front, as they should be with that big payroll. The Diamondbacks are 3 back, and the Padres are 4. Let me pull up the wild card real quick, then we can jump into the list. Wild card. Come on, baby. What you got for me?
So you got the Diamondbacks, the Padres as the top two in the National League, and then the last team that's holding on that everybody's chasing is the Braves. You have the Mets that are 3 back of the Braves. You got the Cubs that is 5.5 back, and the Giants that are 5.5 back. I mean, really, you're gonna need some head-to-head matchups with the Braves to help you out, and then you just gotta hope you don't just fall apart. But I think this is it. I think it's the Diamondbacks, Padres, and the Braves, unless somebody gets hot or the Mets overtake the Braves. I'm not sure I see that, but it's possible. Okay. Like you said, anything's possible.
Anything.
In the AL, you got Baltimore, Kansas City, and Minnesota. Boston's 5 games back. Seattle's 5.5 back.
Boston's dropping, man.
And Detroit's 6.5 back.
Boston shot theirs earlier. They had a nice little streak in the middle of July, I think it was, and then now it's just
they shot theirs early.
What's that song? I'll keep holding on.
Simply Red.
Yeah. Now, Boston and Seattle both falling off. The 5 games back from the wild card position. So Boston, I don't know.
Can I do it?
Go ahead.
Show.
Holding. Okay.
Oh no, man.
Oh, I took what I had.
There's some dog in heat right now.
I think so.
Hey, that's not in my vocal range, so I'm okay.
Oh, I know it ain't. Though. I'm just messing with you, Doug.
That ain't. I love the song, but it ain't in my vocal range. Ladies and gentlemen,
let's do that Thursday.
You want to push it? You gonna push it back to Thursday?
Yeah.
You pushing it back to Thursday? That's infringing on my on. Sheesh. Matty Ice says, my God's just falling apart. It's so sad. Front office failing them and wasting the best back 3-pin bullpen in the game. But if they get in, just got to get a lead going into the 7th. I mean,
that's it. But
strategic
they're one of those teams that if they can get 6 innings out of a starter and maybe a person in their bullpen that's not that main back 3, it's going to be trouble. Trouble.
I think Cleveland wins the Central. I'm sorry. I think they win the Central, but I think they make noise. And if I have to look at it as a Yankee fan, outside of the Astros, Cleveland is the other team that I'm worried about. That's the team that I'm scared of. I'm scared of a Cleveland. But I'm also scared of a Houston because I know Houston can come in and Houston, you'll win the first game in Houston and then you'll lose 4 straight.
Is the big dog paying you for this?
No,
I'm messing with you. No, because
if there trash cans around, you're going to lose. But that's what happened to us. Last year? We came in, we won the first game, and then all of a sudden, they got us up out of there quick. We couldn't do anything. And Houston is now what the Yankees used to be. The Yankees, and it's a self-assessment, the Yankees are an old boxer that's stumbling around, punch drunk, trying to reclaim former glory. And every time you think you got yourself a little something going, some young upstart comes and puts us right on our backside. I personally am not used to not making a World Series. I'm not used to sitting there on the edge of my seat saying, oh, man, I hope we win this series. Nah, we got this series. We're good. Boston's not going to beat us. Cleveland's not going to beat us. I'm used to saying that. I can't say that with confidence anymore. No matter what we have on the roster, I can't say that with confidence anymore.
Match just turned to 2 outs. Looks like it's 1-4. I can't see the inning because I'm getting terrible reception down here.
Well, you gotta fix your rabbit on your floor model.
Get some loan and fall.
I don't know what the hell. I think it's just not picking up because it's been buffering the whole time we've been doing the show.
Well, if you had lockjaw, you'd be nice, but you don't have lockjaw.
Pray I never get one.
Little
that's
news
my
coming.
stream. It's called Lockjaw.
I know what you're talking about, Jack.
Jump.
Little news coming out of Washington just now. Washington Capitals radio play-by-play John Walton has been diagnosed with colon cancer. Yeah. But he still hopes to be back in the booth at the start of the Washington Capitals 50th season campaign.
Yeah, they can fix him up.
So I'm just let me just say this. Cancer is without sugarcoating the cancer is a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing so many people come down with it, and they fighting like Dickie V. And I say that all the time. I say Dickie V, man. I don't. B says, hey man, it's about time for him to go ahead and retire and relax and chill with the family. Yeah, certain people you can't do that. Like that's like telling Hubie Brown to retire. I love hearing Hubie Brown on broadcast. I love hearing Dickie V because it puts you in the mood. It lets you know, hey, this is what it is. And I know he's fighting and going through radiation now. And hopefully by the time he goes through everything, he has enough strength to get through this next college season again. I'm just saying. I try. Fellas, last comments before we get out of here.
What will be next? Thursday? 7 o'clock? 7:45. I'm sorry.
7:45. We'll be throwing down.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
I do it.
All right. So
my bad.
We got matter of fact, next Thursday opens the NFL season.
So I say Sunday we do our preview.
Yeah.
Because I don't even want to test fate because Tuesday is the 3rd, I want to say.
Yes. No, Tuesday's the 4th. Tuesday's the 4th.
Yeah. That's in the month, and that's after a 3-day weekend?
Yeah. Because we're off on Monday.
Hold up. Tuesday ain't the 4th.
You sure about that?
I want to say Tuesday's the 2nd.
Nah, because the
draft is on the 3rd. Friday. No, Tuesday's the 3rd. I'm sorry, the draft's on the 2nd.
I got a doctor's appointment on the 2nd. They don't run them on Sunday.
No, Monday's the 2nd. Monday's Labor Day.
You might want to check your doctor's appointment, bro.
Yeah, because that's Labor Day. Everything's closed.
My doctors go hard.
Okay.
Come to my house, check me out. That's how I roll.
I strongly recommend you just making a call.
No, it might be the 3rd. I don't know. I got one tomorrow too.
You trying to pull on the door and the door locked.
Oh yeah, don't that suck?
Yeah, buddy.
Happened at one of my favorite Chinese restaurants one time. I was like, dang.
Sideline Junkies fantasy football draft will be on the 2nd. Final preparations are being made for that. That is on the 2nd. I wish I could stream that. That would be great. You know what? I might be able to stream that. I might sit down and stream that.
But you just we would have to be mic'd up or something.
Yeah, we can do that.
Something. I don't know.
We can do that. We can do that. We can actually move to this format. We can move to this format here and share the screen there. And we can be mic'd up. So
how you gonna fit 20 people on that screen?
No, the league is 32 people.
32. How you gonna fit 32 people on that screen?
Well, 12 people gonna have to wait, and we're gonna have to rotate.
Okay, you gonna just pull people up off the thing?
Just text me when and then text me when it's my turn to pick. All right, I'll be chilling in the other room.
We're gonna do a blowhorn, like in Minnesota.
Oh sheesh,
man! Y'all give me the blues, but guess what? I'm coming for my world championship because I was supposed to be a repeat champion. Let's just say it didn't work out.
Playoffs, right?
You gotta watch out.
You say what, Midnight Rider?
I said you beat me in the playoffs. I think
I did. I think I made it all the way to the game, the semifinal game, and I lost.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wasn't supposed to lose that game. I was number one in the league the whole year. How do you get all the way to the championship game now? All right, we got divisions this year, so I'm gonna
now
go ahead.
You got a multi-league champion coming out of retirement too.
We'll see what you can do.
Been a while, but I'm ready.
Yeah, and then I mean it's like college football because you got the Big Ten with 18 teams, and then you got the SEC with 20 teams.
Oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. Keep a watch out for that because the Marion Barry division and the Chuck Brown division will be up and running come next Monday.
Chuck, baby.
I'm letting you know now. If I'm in Marion Barry division, I'm protesting.
Yeah, I better be in the Chuck Brown league.
I'm full-fledged I'd rather be in the Sharon Pratt Kelly division.
I'll be rumbling.
Look, these are just preliminary names. I haven't decided on name. I just do something up there.
I don't mind the names as long as I ain't in the Marion Barry.
Well, every time you lose, you gotta go. That bitch set me up.
All right, fellas.
All right, we got to get out of here. We'll be back on Thursday. So until then, that's the Gentleman Jack Carr. That's the Midnight Ride. I'm the big guy KG. Always remember, baby, we don't do no overtime. We are out of here.